Are you planning to start a business in Japan? You've probably come across the term Godo Kaisha or GK. In this video, we'll break down everything you need to know about this business structure, from why it might be an excellent choice for you, how to set it up, the costs related to setting up a Godo Kaisha, and how you can do the same. Before we dive in, here's a quick overview of what we'll cover in this video. First, we'll explain what a Godo Kaisha or GK is, and why it's such a great choice for entrepreneurs. Then, we'll compare the GK to the Kabushiki Kaisha or KK to help you understand the key differences and why some may prefer the KK while others prefer GK instead. We'll also explore who should consider forming a GK with insights from foreign entrepreneurs and startups. We'll also walk you through the setup process for GK step by step and breaking down the costs involved in setting up GK so you know what to expect when you set up a GK in Japan. And finally, we'll also tackle some common misconceptions and questions about GK, so you don't have to go Google some common questions about GK again. And finally, we'll share how we can help you with our services and offers so you can focus on growing your company in Japan.
Now, let me introduce our team. First, we have our co-founder, Tae-Jin Yoon. Born and raised in Japan, TJ brings years of experience in investment advisory and international relations. Fluent in both English and Japanese, he has guided over 25 companies and successfully managed 40 subsidy and loan applications in Japan. Tae-Jin is your go-to expert for navigating the complex setup requirements here in Japan. Next, we have Tyson Bettino, our co-founder who specializes in revenue growth and advisory services. And finally, here's me, Heiken, the marketing manager and the content creator here at SmartStart Japan. I'm dedicated to bringing you insights on how to successfully launch your business in Japan.
Now, let's talk about what is a Godo Kaisha first. A Godo Kaisha or GK is a Japanese business structure similar to an LLC in the US. It combines the advantages of limited liability for its members with the ability to directly manage day-to-day operations, giving business owners a high degree of control and flexibility. One of the standout features of a GK is that its members, who are also owners, manage operations directly and share decision-making authority. This creates a streamlined structure that is ideal for small teams or businesses where quick decisions are critical. Another key benefit is flexibility in profit allocations. Unlike traditional structures tied to shareholding percentages, a GK allows members to customize how profits are distributed, making it highly adaptable to unique business needs. If you're looking for cost-effective, flexible, and hands-on ways to enter the Japanese market, and you don't need to raise additional capital through stocks, then GK would be a good fit for your business. When deciding how to set up your business in Japan, one of the first decisions you'll need to make is whether to form a Godo Kaisha or a Kabushiki Kaisha. So let's break down the key differences. Starting with the Godo Kaisha. This structure combines ownership and management, meaning the members are directly involved in running the company. It's an excellent choice for entrepreneurs and small businesses because it offers lower setup costs and flexible profit distribution, which allows you to tailor how profits are shared among members. On the other hand, the Kabushiki Kaisha separates ownership and management. Shareholders own the company, while directors handle its operations. This makes KK a more traditional and recognizable structure in Japan, offering high credibility, especially in B2B environments in Japan. It is also the only structure that allows you to go public and raise capital through the stock market. Ultimately, the choice comes down to what your business goal is. Well, if you value more flexibility and lower initial setup costs, then GK is a great fit. But if you're aiming for credibility or if you plan to raise funds by going public, then KK would be the better option to start off with. If you're not sure which one is the right choice for your business, we are here to help with a 30-minute consultation to guide you through the process. So now that you know the difference between a GK and a KK, let's also get deeper into who should consider forming a GK. First, people who are aspiring to be an entrepreneur and is living currently in Japan. If you're already in Japan and don't require a visa to operate, for example, if you have a spouse visa or you have permanent residency, then GK is a great choice. It's similar setup for you, it's affordable, it lets you manage your business directly without the complexities of a larger corporate structure. This is also the preferred choice for a lot of solopreneurs as well, transitioning from their kojinjigyo to a GK. Second are the startups who are looking to enter Japan quickly. For startups, speed is critical. The GK startup process is much faster than that of a KK, making it the preferred choice for foreign startups eager to get their operations running smoothly in Japan. And third, those looking for more flexibility and cost saving initially. A GK is highly cost effective compared to KK, with lower setup fees and fewer ongoing requirements like the shareholders meeting, where KK will have to hold once a year, but GK does not. Plus, the flexibility in profit sharing makes it ideal for small teams or founders who wants to customize their arrangements. If any of these scenarios sounds like you, a GK might be the perfect fit for your business in Japan. Now that we have identified who should consider GK, let's go over the steps involved in setting one up. We'll go over each step one by one in the coming slides, so we'll just give an overview of the key steps here. So first, you have to decide on your company details. Then you have to create a seal for your company. Then you have to draft your articles of incorporations and deposit the capital into a bank account. We'll talk about that later in more detail. And finally, you submit your registration documents. With the right preparation and guidance, setting up a GK can be very smooth and efficient. So let's get into each step in detail. The first step in setting up your GK is deciding on key details of your company. Let's break these down. So first is your company name. Your company name, or shogo, is its identity. Choose a name that reflects your business, its mission, or character. Make sure it stands out, but also check for any similar registered names using tools like the Ministry of Justice's online registry search or the local legal affairs bureau. We'll leave some links down in the description so you can check whether your name has been used in Japan. Avoid names that could infringe on trademarks or suggest association with specific organizations like banks or schools. Next, you'll need to decide on your office location. This is the official address of your company. It can be your home, a rental office, or even a virtual office. Choose the location carefully, as updating it later will require additional registration changes and fees. Next, we'll look at the capital. While there's no minimum required share capital to register a GK, it's important to choose an amount that reflects your business goal. If you're applying for a business manager visa, you'll need a minimum of 5 million yen for your capital. For other cases, a credible amount is essential, especially if you plan to seek loans or funding. Next, we'll move on to the business objectives. Clearly outline the scope of your business activities. This is crucial for your articles of incorporation and helps stakeholders understand what your company does now and may expand into the future. Finally, we'll look at shareholders and directors. Determine who will own the company and manage it. In a GK, the shareholders and directors can be the same people, allowing streamlined decision-making and operations. The next step in setting up your GK is creating a corporate seal, or jitsunin. In Japan, the corporate seal serves as an official signature for your business. It will be used for key documents, including registration with the Legal Affairs Bureau, contracts, and other legal matters. Once your company name is finalized, you'll need to create the seal and prepare a seal registration document. It's worth noting that as of 2021, seals are technically optional for online registrations. However, seals are still widely used in Japan for various business functions, and having one remains essential for most practical purposes. With this step complete, you'll be ready to move on to drafting your articles of incorporation. Once you have created your corporate seal, the next step is to draft the articles of incorporation, or teikan. Think of this document as the constitution of your company. It establishes the foundational rules and operations that governs your business. Here are the key elements you'll need to include. First is your company name. This is the official name of your GK, which you finalized earlier. Make sure it aligns with your mission and brand identity, like we have discussed before. Second is your business objective. Clearly define what your company will do. This is essential for both your registration and future stakeholders. You can also include potential future activities to give your company flexibility. Third is your office location. Specify the registered address of your company. This will be your address business official location. Fourth is your capital and contributions, which you would have outlined earlier. Outline the total initial capital and the contribution from each founder. This step is crucial for determining ownership and investment structure. Last but not least is the founder's name and address. So you only have to list out the names and addresses of all the founders to document who is responsible for starting the company. Your articles of incorporation can be submitted in either paper or electronic form. Once completed, this document becomes the legal backbone of your GK, paving the way for next steps in the registration process. After drafting your articles of incorporation, the next step is to deposit the initial capital. In Japan, you must transfer your starting capital into the founder's personal bank account. This is because the corporate bank account can only be opened after the company is officially registered. The transfer serves as a proof of the company's initial funding. It's important to note that if you don't have a Japanese bank account, you have to deposit the capital into a Japanese bank branch in your own country. It is important to keep documentation of this transaction. For example, copies of your bank book or transaction receipts will need to be submitted to the Legal Affairs Bureau as part of your company registration. The amount of capital you deposit should reflect the goals of your business and reflects the same amount in your articles of incorporation. While there's no minimum required by law for GK, having a sufficient capital improves your company's credibility, especially working with banks or other institutions in Japan. After depositing your initial capital, the final step in setting up your GK is submitting the required registration documents to the Legal Affairs Bureau. Here's what you will need to prepare. You will need the registration application, the official form to apply for your company's registration. You will need the stamp tax, a fee of 60,000 yen, which must be paid for the registration process. You'll need your articles of incorporation, which contains your company's information and rules. You also need your founder's consent document with written agreements from all the founders who will be the representative director of your company. You'll need the proof of the capital deposit, either in bank book copies or other evidence like a transaction receipts showing the initial capital transfer. Finally, you'll need the seal registration document to officially register your company's corporate seal. Once you have submitted these documents, the approval process usually takes 7 to 10 days, depending on the workload at the Legal Affairs Bureau. Once approved, your company will be officially established and you will receive confirmation of its registration. Now that you understand the registration process, let's talk about the costs involved in setting up a Godo Kaisha. First, the registration license tax. This is mandatory fee for registering your company with the Legal Affairs Bureau. The cost is around 60,000 yen, or 0.7% of your total capital, whichever one is higher. This forms the core cost of your incorporation for GK. Next is the stamp duty. For companies filing paper-based articles of incorporation, there's a 40,000 yen stamp duty fee. However, this cost can be avoided if you choose to submit your documents electronically. Another important point to note that unlike a Kabushiki Kaisha (KK), a GK does not require notarization of your articles of incorporation. This saves an additional 50,000 yen, making it more cost-effective for business registration. 4. These are some post-incorporation costs. Once your GK is registered, there will be additional costs for anywhere from 100,000 to 200,000 yen. For any post-registration activities, these include opening a corporate bank account, filing various notifications with tax offices or labor offices, as well as other administrative tasks, depending on whether you want to do it yourself or handing over to an expert to file these on your behalf. The total setup cost for GK is significantly lower than that of KK, and at SmartStart Japan, we will streamline these steps for you and help you reduce any unnecessary fees. Let us know if you need guidance to make this process even smoother. As we wrap up our video, let's address some of the most common questions and misconceptions about Godo Kaisha to clarify any lingering doubts. So 1. Is GK only for small businesses? Not at all. While GK is popular with startups and small businesses due to its cost effectiveness, many large international corporations like Apple and Amazon Japan also use the GK structures for their Japanese operations. It offers simplicity and flexibility, and you can always convert a GK into a KK if needed for future expansion or if you need further funding through stocks. 2. Do you need a Japanese partner to start GK? No. Foreign entrepreneurs can establish a GK independently as long as they meet the legal and visa requirements. A Japanese partner is not a prerequisite. 3. Can a foreign entrepreneur start a GK while living outside of Japan? Yes, you can. However, you'll need a registered address in Japan for your company and may require a business manager visa if you plan to run operations locally. 4. Do I need to publish financial statements for GK? No. Unlike a Kabushiki Kaisha, a GK is not required to publish financial statements. which reduces the administrative burdens and costs at the end of the year. 5. Is GK the right choice for my business? Well, if you're looking for a more flexible and more cost-effective way to enter the Japanese market without dealing with all the complexities of a Kabushiki Kaisha, which we will have an additional video on it soon, a GK is likely a great fit. If you have a larger ambition, such as going public, you will need additional funding from the Japanese market, then KK might be a better long-term solution for you. But like we have said just now, you can always convert GK into KK if needed in the future. We hope these answers clarify some of your questions, and if you still have doubt or need personalized advice from us, we are here to help with a free 30-minute consultation to help you ensure your journey is smooth and successful. And that is the end of our video. If you're ready to establish your Godo Kaisha in Japan, SmartStart Japan is here to help support you every step of the way. Here are some ways we can help. We provide comprehensive services on incorporation. We handle the essential paperwork to incorporation, from taxes, labors, and welfare documentation, all kinds of notifications you will need to submit after incorporation. We make sure you can leave all these paperwork behind you and focus on growing your business. We also provide visa preparation for foreign entrepreneurs. So if you're planning to starting a GK overseas and wants to manage your business actively in Japan, we specialize in preparing the business manager visas to help you navigate Japan's legal requirements. And we also provide additional services called Smart Boosts. We can assist you in accessing and gaining government-backed loans and subsidies to give your business a strong financial edge right from the start. At SmartStart Japan, we incorporate 2 to 3 companies each month and have built a reputation for reliable expert services. Ready to get started? Schedule your 30-minute consultation today at smartstartjapan.com, and let's turn your vision into reality.